Hi scrapbookers, this is Alice Funk. I'm here to teach you the circles, cutting out your borders in a circle shape. How cool is that? I'm very excited. Again, my name is Alice Funk. I wanted to just show you how to do it. I saw it posted and I wanted to share what I learned. So first we're going to use our jumbo circle. It's one of the older items that Creative Memories just came back with, and anybody that doesn't have it definitely want one of these. You are going to cut out a circle, and I am using, remember this is our page, I'm actually going to cut out a jumbo circle using the middle shape for this one with my red blade, and make sure those red legs of your blade are in the groove so that the blade can go around evenly and cleanly. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm actually using a shell shimmer paper that was in our cardstock buffet recently. So I wanted to let you know. So now I have a smaller circle, and I'm going to take my Seashell border punch. Love this punch. Anybody that goes to the beach, I'm a big seashell collector, so I wanted to show you how to do this. So when you put your paper in to the border punch, flip it over so that you're looking at the paper and where it's actually going to cut. So when I actually trim this, I am going to punch it on the edge of my circle. The next time I line it up, I'm going to put it in again so I can see the paper going in behind it. And I'm going to make sure that I'm lining up the last shell with the next shell, and that all my other shells are on the white paper. So I can set it up like this. I'm going to make sure that over here, this shell is lined up with the last shell I just punched, and that I didn't move my paper anyway this way so that you can see the paper is not behind where the punch is. So you want to make sure your shells line up. And of course I have to look at it while I'm doing it. So if I line these up so that all the shells are on the paper, and the last shell and the last shell I cut and the next shell I'm cutting is going to come out. It's going to look like this. That's okay. See this little triangle here? We can cut that off with scissors. So let's put it in again, lining up my last shell with the next shell I'm going to cut. You can see the paper's behind there. I'm going to cut it, and then again, there's that little triangle. That's okay. We're going to chop that off with our scissors. Again, I'm going to line it up with the last shell that I cut over here, and the next shell I'm cutting on with the border punch. And then just move it around the outside of your circle, keeping those shells within the paper circle. You can, like I said, if you turn this upside down, you can see exactly where you're punching. And you can see just going around that circle. And the next one. See how I'm just going around the circle, creating, and I think I flipped it at one point. But that's okay. I'm just going to get it in there. We're going to make sure the last shells and the first shells are lined up. And when I pull it out, I have my ring of seashells. And then you can take your scissors and just cut off this triangle by extending the arm of one of the starfish and kind of rounding out that sand dollar so that it looks just fine. So I just snip to extend the end of the starfish and snip the other side to round out that sand dollar, and it doesn't even look like there was anything wrong. Oh, here I have 2 sand dollars. Not sure. I must have flipped it at one point, but that's okay. You know what? Nobody's going to notice. And actually, we're going to be cutting this in half to go onto our page. So my page, I did a border in the round as well, and I will show you how to do that. And I think I will hold my page this way. But to show you, so now I have my shells in the round. I'm going to fold this in half, like so. Line up the 2 ends, fold it in half, and then snip on one side and snip on the other side, and I will have half of the seashells. So now the next thing I did was just to save paper, I had cut out a jumbo circle using that jumbo circle punch, or I'm sorry, the jumbo circle template from our cutting system. I had cut on the outside with a red blade to give that jumbo circle. So to do the jumbo circle, I actually used the Scallop Wave border cartridge. And this is actually a discontinued item, but I do still have 3 in stock. So if anybody's looking for one, please, my customers, please let me know. So the Scallop Circle punch, I put into the punch holder, the cartridge holder of my border maker system. And then I took that half circle, start anywhere. I started in the middle, just made it easy. Push it all the way in, give it a punch. And then it's going to look like this. I'm going to go to the next one, but again, I'm going to flip my punch over so that I can see the bottom. I can see where, when I put the paper in, that I'm cutting on the paper, on that round. And I'm going to line up the last wave to the next wave. So when you see it, you can see the paper's in there. The last wave is meeting up with the first wave of my new cut in here. And I'm just going to move, see how it's coming out? I'm just going to move around the circle as I cut with my border punch on the outside of this jumbo circle. You could do this with your flip-flops border punch. You could do it with any scallop edge and make it more of a floral edge. Totally up to you. I just chose the waves to kind of go with the seashells, and see how my waves are coming all the way around the edge of my circle. So again, I'm lining up the last wave with the next wave and just going around the circle, punching. And you could actually put in your, like I said, your flip-flop border punch, do that across the bottom, or you could do that around the edge. So this is actually the dark sea green paper from the vitamin C coordinating cardstock colors. So I wanted to let you know that is a cardstock from them. And then I used the vitamin C designer paper pack, and I took this one paper, which I cut in half because I wanted to use it on both sides of my page. Oops. Put this down so you can see, kind of got like a whole mess going on. I actually have this middle from where I punched the seashell border out, and that is something that I could always use on another page and keep designing and creating. So I take my tape runner, my half a sheet from this designer vitamin C collection, and I put that down on my paper. I put my beautiful half circle cut with the scallop wave edge, and like I said, you could really use any punch you want on that. but I chose the Scallop Wave Punch for the edges. And then I have my seashells in the round, if you want to call it that. I'll use my repositional tape to tape this down. Repositional tape, if you haven't used it before, is excellent. It comes out of your tape dispenser in tiny little dots. So I always put down a piece of scrap paper underneath it, so the tiny dots in between each of the seashells just goes onto the scrap paper and not my table or my page that I'm working on. And then I took a piece of the vitamin C laser cut borders and I had cut it in half. So now I'm going to use the other half on this page. The first half I used on my other page. So we'll put it on here. And then I can put some pictures over on this side. So now I have this beautiful page that's actually going to match my other page. And you can see how they go together and how easy was that. So don't forget, use those jumbo circles and your border punches or your border maker cartridge and cut your borders just along the edge of your circles. Why not? It's just another technique for you. Try it, make your pages, and make sure you post them and show me.